Hi, my name is Joe. I am a fat black belt, and today I'm back from camp. It was so hot, you guys. It was so hot and so humid, and it was so muggy. So I thought, before I got into the wackiness of what happened after and settling back into a normal schedule and so on and so forth, I would talk about what happened at camp and the food and the fitness and the heat and the misery. Let's go. So the first thing's easy. Let's talk about the menu. The menu wasn't too bad. I've got basically 9-ish meals that I serve over the course of 5 days. 5 days? 4 days. 4 days. So everybody sort of comes in on Thursday. I serve breakfast on Thursday to my grove and the people who are doing the setup. And then everybody gets lunch, dinner, breakfast the next day, lunch, dinner, breakfast the next day, lunch. We have a potluck night, which I still have to serve food at, and then everybody gets breakfast the next day. 3 breakfasts, 3 lunches, and 2.5 dinners. 3.5 breakfast. Breakfast is always the same, so that makes it easy. Breakfast is always scrambled eggs, bacon, home fries. With any luck, I've got a picture here of some of the breakfasts that I served over the course of the week. Ooh, look at that one. I have no idea what's going on right now, but I presume the pictures are on screen. On the first day of this thing, lunch is always burgers and hot dogs. People are rolling in. You never know how many people you're going to get, so I make burgers and dogs, because leftover dogs the kids can eat over the course of the next few days. Leftover burgers can become tacos for taco night, which is what we do dinner on Thursday. So Thursday I did, tacos, Mexican rice, and a heap of black beans, and the black beans were super good. Because people are people, there were tons of leftover black beans. That's okay, I needed them later. So the following morning, regular breakfast, I did chicken sandwiches for lunch the next day. I had spicy and regular chicken. Too much of both because it was impossible for me to tell who was going to eat what. And you had sauces that you could put on those if you liked. So you could have a buffalo chicken, you could have a Nashville hot chicken, you could have a regular, like a hockey puck chicken, or you could have like a spicy chicken sandwich, or any combination thereof. I had Nashville hot chicken. It was really good. There's, crispy lettuce and pickles and stuff like that to put on your chicken sandwiches. Cheese, I think some of them had cheese. People just built their own stuff. And with the chicken, I served heaps and heaps of broccoli and then just a bunch of chips that you could throw on the side. So that was all really good stuff. Friday night is pasta night. Pasta night's always kind of a fun one because I get to spend all day cooking tomato sauce. So I made a real basic marinara sauce. I had regular pasta, I had gluten-free pasta, I had a big, huge Italian salad that went out. Pasta night ends up being sort of accidentally vegetarian, almost accidentally vegan, with the exception of the sprinkly cheese. It's vegan, it's vegetarian, and it's, just sort of by accident, but it's real good. I could make some meat sauce, but why? I got people there that don't eat meat, so who cares? The tomato sauce is every bit as good by itself. I make a good tomato sauce. Piss off. Regular breakfast on Saturday, and then sort of a Build-A-Bear burrito station, Chipotle wishes, right? And the idea was shredded chicken, like a carnitas pork kind of thing, peppers and onions, which were so good. What was left over from the beans got turned into refried black beans, so you could throw those on there. The only real problem with the Build-A-Bear burrito station was that the shredded chicken was okay. I threw a heap of garlic in there to flavor it up and some poultry seasoning. The pulled pork was bad, and I should have just sucked it up into the budget and bought the shoulders myself and made carnitas, and that would have been really good. The pulled pork that was prepackaged was just terrible. It was just bad quality. People ate it, but I didn't feel good about the quality. And it's not what I ate. And you'll note that there's basically just a picture of a quarter of a burrito there because I forgot to take a picture until at the end of the meal. Sorry. Anyway, potluck was pretty good. You might notice that the potluck is the largest plate of food that I ate the entire time. That's because when you're cooking food, okay, I need you to understand. The kitchen was 95 degrees at all times and at least 90% humidity at all times. It was like cooking in hell. It was a nightmare. Plus, this year, the sinks were questionable. And by questionable, I mean they didn't drain. So even if we wanted to use them, we couldn't. So there was quite a lot of work that went into this year. My kitchen crew this year was amazing. Had a ton of good help from out of town and from locals. And my wife was in there, and my friend Maggie was in there, and a bunch of people were in there. It was great. Tremendous help from the kitchen crew. Couldn't have done it without them. They were fantastic. But it was just so much work, and it was so hot. It's always a lot of work. Like, I've done this 2 weeks after knee surgery, so it's always a lot of work. But the heat and the humidity this year made it, I think, dangerous. So I think maybe next year the plan is not this. So if we're still back at this camp next year, I'm going to peace out on the kitchen. If we are someplace new where there's, some air conditioning and some better facilities, then I'll give it another shot. And that's probably where we are. Other than that, it was a really good event. Getting out of there was great. I only ended up doing basically 1 day of training the whole time I was there. I took my sword with me, but, I was just too exhausted to do anything. So 1 day, like around lunch, I got up, I did all my sword forms, I did, all the stuff for my test, went through all that. And I just couldn't function. But I did make my son do a little bit of Taekwondo every day because he's got testing coming up too. And so we would go to the cabin and he would show me his form and he would show me his basic movements, and those all looked pretty good. And yeah, it was good. It was miserably hot, but it was a good time. So what happens when you come back to civilization from that? Well, let me tell you, the first thing you do is you go straight to the pool, which is what we did. I took the kids to the pool. It was glorious. I really did try. I tried to force myself to get in the hot tub to loosen up some of the joints, but I could not physically be in another place that was that hot and wet. So I just got in the pool and hung out and floated and let my body sort of decramp and relax, and that was glorious. And then afterwards, we got pizza and ice cream because I'm like, look, you guys, I've eaten nothing for 5 days, basically nothing for 5 days. I have worked off every calorie I ate. I didn't even notice that I was hungry most of the time. I noticed that I was thirsty, but a lot of the time I was, I would make food for 60 people and then I could barely force myself to eat any of it because it was so hot. So it was a rough experience. And when I came back, I'm like, I just want to indulge in something, something that I didn't make, something that is going to, satisfy my emotional cravings and all that stuff. And I felt like that was totally justified and it was enjoyable, and we did that. And then the next day was back to normal. So that was yesterday, pretty much back to normal. I think I had some eggs in the morning, and then a big fat load of nothing for quite a while, just because, again, not that hungry, coming off all that. And dinner was steak and broccoli. After the kids, we did a meet the teachers thing, and then took the kids out to eat. So that was it. There were some peanuts while writing last night. This morning, I made I'm going to say I made a poor man's shakshuka, but what I really made was sloppy joes with eggs in them. If you want to be real honest, I just needed to throw some extra protein in there, so I tossed So I tossed in some ground beef and I threw in the eggs, and that was super good. I'm actually probably going to have the rest of that for dinner, and I'll maybe throw it on some chicken or something and do it like that. So that's the day. Took the kids for a walk. They wanted to use their, what is this, a J.J. Abrams movie? They wanted to use their hoverboards. It's still 90 degrees out, y'all, so stay safe out there. But that got a little bit of exercise in me. I'm 50-50 on going to Taekwondo today. I would like to, emotionally I would like to, physically I'm not convinced that I'm recovered. So I'm gonna give it a minute, see how I feel when it's closer to time. I may go, I may not go. I will definitely be doing double class tomorrow though, so we'll see how that is. If I'm being perfectly honest, just packing up a cabin, unloading 2 cars, and putting all of our camping stuff away, I kind of feel like that counts as a workout. Like if I were still tracking workouts, I would put that thing in my fitness pal. It's fair. Anyway, catch you guys later.